This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome aboard. We're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Busy hour, Thursday night tilt in Tampa. Got to have a game for the Buccaneers taking on a division rival in Atlanta. That's in 15. Bottom of the hour, Ira Kaufman has covered the Buccaneers for a long time. We'll get his thoughts on the game tonight and our best bets coming up in 45 minutes. Right now, we head out to the Progressive guest line. Steve Wyss joins the program. Follow him on X. He is at Meatman Soccer, Because We Win, and Nordic Football Podcast as well. What's up, Meatman? Good to talk to you again. How are you?
Well, hey, guys. It's good to be back. It feels like it's been forever. So delighted to be back on your show here. Got loads of picks for this weekend in the soccer world.
And I cannot wait to hear the breakdown on Sunderland and Newcastle coming up on Sunday in a minute. But let's begin with the Prim on Saturday. And you have a bet that you like in Burnley taking on Fulham. What is the play here, Meatman?
Well, there's certain rules you've got to apply to every team in the Premier League. And for Burnley, the number one rule at home is just bet on the under. 7 out of 7 under 2.5 games so far.
Yeah.
Their matches contain an average of 1.7 goals per game at home. They're a very limited side, Burnley. They'll get relegated. They've got no offense, really. They sometimes got more of a chance away from home, actually, when teams don't expect them to do anything. But this has the makings of possibly a 0-0, but Fulham more than likely will produce one moment of quality to probably beat them 1-0 or something. I just don't really see the offense from Burnley. And Fulham actually prefer it when they are an underdog rather than a favourite. So I think we're looking at a pretty dire, drab game in Burnley here. And we've got to keep backing the under in these home games for Burnley. It just makes total sense.
That's 9:30 Pacific on Saturday. At noon Pacific Saturday, the top team, Arsenal, against the team at the bottom of the table, Wolverhampton. You think this could be historic? No wins, 2 draws, 13 losses, minus 25 goal differential.
Well, no one's talking about it yet, Pauly, but I think the Premier League record low points tally could be under threat, which came in 2008. Derby County, they won 1 game out of 38. I mean, this Wolves team, I think the reason no one's talking about it really is because on paper it should have enough to at least beat that. But I tell you what, on Monday night, they lost to Man United at home 4-1. That was some of the worst defending I've ever seen from a Premier League team. Man United could have scored 8 or 9. It was an absolute disgrace. And the fans are protesting against the players. They're protesting against the board. They're protesting against everything, really. And Arsenal, I think, will thrash them. As simple as that. This could be a massive beating. And the best bet for the game for me, Arsenal, team total, over 2.5 goals, minus 135. Arsenal, I mean, they had not actually played someone really bad at home for a while. But the last time they did it, they beat Leeds 5-0. They beat Forest 4-0, Spurs 4-1. And Wolves have conceded 3 or more on 7 different occasions this season. So ladder that higher if you want, because I think we're looking at a 5 or 6 beating here.
Love it. Very good. So it's a unique schedule this week. 5 matches on Sunday, 4 at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. How about Sunderland, Newcastle? A lot of creativity here. It could be a feisty affair. Take it away with all the different bets in this one.
I don't think I've ever given you 3 bets in one game before, so this is like a unique selling point here. But Sunderland, Newcastle, for those, I'll give a brief breakdown. These 2 teams absolutely hate each other. This is actually one of the biggest rivalries in English soccer. And they haven't played each other in the Premier League for 10 years. It's like a rivalry between 2 industrial cities. I'm trying to think what the US equivalent would be. It'd be Pittsburgh against someone, definitely. You've got fans that are really passionate and they hate each other. And I think we're going to see a really dirty game. So first thing, over 4.5 cards, minus 145. And red card, yes, has to be backed at plus 310. This is a sort of game where it is a matter of life and death for the fans. So the players have got to put themselves on the line here. There's enough dirty players on each team, I think, to get the job done. The referee averages 4.2 cards per game this season as well. So he's not shy for dishing out a few cartons, as we say over here. And the corner kicks, I'm going to go over 10.5 corners as well, because Newcastle are on my radar for corners this season. Their average corner stats are through the roof, really, in all competitions. And the main reason for it is because they're stretching the game with their fullbacks. who are naturally left-footed and right-footed, and they're winning a lot of corners that way. They're getting a lot of shots. And it's the sort of game where the tackles are going to fly in, and players are not going to take as many risks as normal. If you're defending, you're better off just being safe and knocking the ball behind for a corner rather than trying to be too fancy, because if you concede a goal that way, the fans will never, ever forgive you. I don't know who's going to win the game. Got a feeling Newcastle might show their quality. They did meet in the FA Cup 2 years ago, and Newcastle won 3-0 on that occasion. But anything can happen in this game. It's a really heated affair. I'd encourage anyone who can watch it to get their eyes on this fixture. Okay,
that is such a great breakdown. Now, a couple things here. Do you have a best bet of the three that you just gave out? And of all the soccer that you watch, are a fan of / bet on, where does this rivalry rank overall?
That's a really good question. I think the best bet, I would have to go with the corner kicks, because we're not relying on the referee then. The referee could easily maybe let a few things go early on and not dish some cards out, but the corners would be the best bet of the three. In terms of the biggest soccer rivalries in the UK, probably the biggest is in Scotland, actually, Celtic versus Rangers. Then you've got Man United, Liverpool, Leeds, Man United's quite big as well. But this one definitely ranks in the top five for sure. A lot of people wouldn't have even heard of it because Sunderland haven't been in the Premier League for so long. Mm-hmm. But trust me, this down the years was one of those fixtures that was first on the calendar. It's kicking off at actually 2 p.m. local time, which is 2 hours later than normal. Massive security event. And, I can't stress enough how much this means to the two sets of fans. This will make their Christmas or break their Christmas, literally. You cannot afford to lose this game if you're Sunderland or Newcastle. You really can't.
Very good. Let's go to Monday, noon Pacific. Man U against Bournemouth. How about a total?
Yeah, we go to the rules again with Bournemouth. Back the under at home, back the over away from home, because the away fixtures for Bournemouth this season, 6 out of 7 matches gone over 2.5 goals, and their away fixtures average 4.3 goals per game. So we've got to go on the Asian over 3 goal line here at minus 105. Bournemouth really do enjoy it on their travels. They get a lot more space. This Man United team are one of the hardest in the league to actually predict results-wise, but there is one pattern starting to emerge with Manchester United, and that is there's goals in their games. 10 of the 15 fixtures have gone over 2.5 goals, and that is the bare minimum we need here for a push. I thought Man United looked pretty good on Monday night against Wolves. Like I said, to be fair, I would have looked good against Wolves, but that will give them some confidence. Nevertheless, they've got some exciting attacking players: Buemo, Cunha, Fernandez. This could be a high-scoring draw, something like 2-2. But the general rules with Bournemouth: back the away goals, and when they're at home, you want to be looking at the under. So I think that trend will continue on Monday night.
One more, my friend. Championship League, the league below the Premier League. A total Saturday morning, Middlesbrough against Queen Park Rangers.
This surprised me how generous the odds were on over 2.5 goals, because Middlesbrough, they've had a good season anyway so far. Their former manager, Rob Edwards, left to go to Wolves. Why on earth he would do that, I don't know, apart from the money perhaps. There was talk that some of his family lived near Wolves, but terrible decision really. But Middlesbrough have actually hired a better manager, a bloke called Kim Hellberg, who's from Sweden. I know him from my time covering Swedish soccer. And this guy is a really attack-minded boss. His first 3 games, a couple of 2-1 wins and also a 4-1 win. So their offense is really firing here. And I don't think anything's going to change with his style. He's going to be wowing the fans with the entertainment. And QPR actually are in good form. 4 wins out of 5. They're scoring goals as well. It's something like 6 of their last 8 games have gone over 2.5 goals. So I think we're getting... I always like to back the over goals when there's 2 confident sides playing each other, because I don't think there's as much pressure on their shoulders. They're enjoying their offensive developments and transitions. So I really thought over 2.5 goals would be about minus 150 here. And I think someone both teams score as well for those who want to bet on that. But I think we're going to get a really exciting game with Middlesbrough and QPR. 2 teams on the rise in the Championship right now. Very good. Meat Man, you're the best. Love talking to you every week. Best of luck. We'll talk to you again soon, okay? Thanks. I can't believe I got through those picks so quickly. So, best. Always great to be back on the show. I'll see you next week. Yep. Thank you, Make sure you follow him on X, at Meat Man Soccer, and he's with a couple of different podcasts, Because We Win and the Nordic Football Pod as well. Great breakdowns there, including that Sunderland match. So I asked the question about why
Baltimore taking money against Cincinnati, and got a response on X thinking that maybe it moved because of Burrow's comments this week. I will point those out in case you missed it.
Yeah.
He said, quote, "If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot. It's not fun. If it's not fun, then what am I doing it for?" A little bit later on, he said, "There's just a lot of things going on right now." So is that enough to make you say, I got to bet against them this week? Evidently, the market did, and I guess that could be a reason why.
It's not good for Zach Taylor either.
No, and I know that people who I follow on X from your home state are like giddy with the idea of Burrow going to Minnesota in the offseason.
Well, no kidding.
Yeah, you think?
Come on. I don't know if that's not going to happen, but he's right, though. This was going on when we were on the air. I mean, that was at home, and Man U beat Wolverhampton 4-1.
That's right.
Minus 25 goal differential. Out of 15 matches, only 2 draws.
We're a week and a half into December.
Yep. If you missed it the first time, good news, giving you one last chance to get a great Vegas weekend here at Circa. The first 100 new VSiN Pro annual subscribers who sign up using promo code Circa get a free 3-night stay the 2nd through the 5th, plus a day bet at Stadium Swim during the final weekend of the regular season. 50% off the monthly price, full year of VSiN Pro. The betting splits, every best bet, every host, every guest, the AI-powered prop tools. Your last shot at the Circa getaway. VSiN.com/Circa. Promo code Circa. Get it now.
Thursday night tilt, Tampa. Coming up next, we have a 17-2 under run with a team in this position tonight. We'll give you the details next on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Little line movement in the game tonight here at Circa as the boys here behind the counter moved Tampa from a 5.5-point favorite to a 4.5-point favorite. And currently right now, VSiN.com, the betting splits page, which you can check out when you become a VSiN Pro subscriber, 66% of the handle is on Tampa. 68% of the bets. And at DraftKings, those numbers are actually a little bit higher on Tampa for the game. And the total remains at 43.5, down from the opener of 44.5, Pauly.
We had some doozies last year, but I don't see this happening with these two teams. They played 3 awesome games in a row. The week 1 game was phenomenal, but going back to that Thursday night last year when Cousins had all those yards and touchdowns, different quarterback now, a lot of dink and dunk. But there's some good scoring specials on if this could get wonky, and there's some big plays. You might still get a lot of points because the special teams are so bad, and the kickoff coverage is horrendous with both. Seattle got them last week against Atlanta, and Tampa's had poor coverage. Someone scores 40-plus points is plus 750, and each team to score in all 4 quarters plus 750. Touchdown, field goal, both teams each half is 14-1 as well.
Look, I know it's a long season. Things change. Power ratings go up. They go down. Players get injured. You probably win a game you're not supposed to. You lose a game that you're not supposed to. But the Buccaneers are 5-8 ATS on the year. Yeah. That is it. They have not covered since their bye week. October 26th against the Saints was the last time they covered. They started the year 4-2 ATS with wins at Atlanta, at Houston, and at Seattle. Think about that resume and how that looks today. But now they're losing games at home to the Saints.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, boys, what's going on here? Atlanta, how do you like this? Some numbers here from Steve Mackinnon at VSiN.com. 21-5 under on short rest. Less than 7 days since 2012. Mayfield, 7-20 ATS as a home favorite since 2020. As a home favorite. You're getting some bad teams tonight on Thursday Night Football and in prime time. Thursday night overall, Atlanta 2-5 straight up and ATS last 7. Tampa 2-10 ATS since 2013 on Thursday Night Football. under the total on Thursday night. Atlanta 7-1 in their last 8. And this is prime time overall. Tampa Bay, Sunday, Monday, and Thursday nights. Their last 33 games, 11-22 straight up and 9-24 against the spread. There's also a wild trend that has developed over the last 4+ years regarding Thursday night football road teams coming off of a home loss the prior Sunday. They have rebounded incredibly well. 29-16-1 ATS, 64+%. That would mean Atlanta. And under the total in prime time, again, across the board here, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, Atlanta is 17-2 under last 19 games in this spot tonight.
What do you expect out of Evans? Because this is what he's priced at tonight, as Chart said, maybe goes back to his rookie year, where he's in the high 30s. 5 yards every quarter, plus 750. 25 yards each half, plus 375.
Well, I would think that if he's ready, again, there was a thought, Pauly, that he might not be ready to go tonight, and they were going to have to wait until next week to actually get the guy back. But now because they lost to the Saints,
that's right.
Like they have to have, this game. It would be huge for them anyway
to get him back. Practice.
So I would think, right?
Yeah.
This is a funny message from Donnie listening to the show. Evans only needs to average 215 yards a game last 4 to get to 1,000 again.
Oh, that angle?
That's not going to. I mean,
yeah, but
only 215.
Yes, that he needed last week. But that shows just what they've done in the past to get him that record.
That's exactly right.
And also forcing him the ball. But so also, if he's compromised, and we think he is, it should be a lot of dump-offs to the running backs, too, from Mayfield.
That's what I think.
That's one, right? You can look at the running backs. And then I don't know what to expect out of McMillan. Maybe this is good news for Ibuka that these guys are back. But I just think, you got to have it game, and Mike Evans is back. He's going to look at his buddy and to be able to get plus 750. 5 yards every quarter.
That's at Caesars?
Yes, right. Now, the Atlanta standpoint is they've lost 7 of their last 8, and they're so bad with their third down offense. But you're thinking, okay, well, another bad team we're going to get right. Didn't happen against Arizona, couldn't cover, and the debacle against the Saints as well. But from an Atlanta standpoint, to me, it's got to be a lot of Robinson. Mm-hmm. And everyone making the case for receiving yards over, and rightfully so. He had 100 yards in the first game, and Tampa's terrible.
Against running backs in the year.
That's right. And now another one, 5 yards rushing each quarter, $1.20, 25 yards each half, $1.15.
Do they have Robinson receiving yards every single quarter? Again, because he's been in the league for 3 years. He has never had more than 63 yards rushing against Tampa. Not a single time. He had 24 in week 1, but that's when he went crazy on all those catches, that 50-yarder right out of the gates, and he had 100 yards in that game. Like if they have a big number on 5 yards receiving every single quarter, okay. Maybe look at that.
He's going to get plenty of carries, though. I'm surprised that's the direction you went there. And I'll look if they have that. They got 50 yards rushing each half is 6-1. I don't see receiving.
No, yeah, okay.
But that's, yeah.
Is he going to get a lot of carries?
Yes. Certainly should get enough to be able to get 5 yards a quarter, right? And then also the Pitts angle. And he's being priced like he's going to have a huge game.
Well, yeah.
He's only plus 170 to have 25 yards in each half. 5 yards each quarter, he's only plus 270. 18 targets the last 2 games with Cousins, 7 for 82 against the Jets, 6 for 90 against Seattle, and had almost, 59 yards in the week 1 meeting, and ate them alive last year in both meetings. They had no answer for Pitts. In the game on the road, he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts, by the way, his longest reception prop tonight is 20.5 yards. He has cleared that in 6 of his last 7 games. And he looks like he's actually playing some of the best football of his career in Atlanta right now. That catch that he made last week was awesome. I don't want to just say, hey, it's 1 catch, so now the guy is, playing like an all-pro player. Not going to go that far, but, this guy came out of Florida as if he looked like one of the best prospects I've ever seen play that position. And I wasn't the only person who thought that. Many people did. I mean, he just jumped off the page and dominated teams in the SEC, and he never really lived up to that hype. So But now, maybe and Cousins again, he can't move. Come on.
No way.
So it's going to be, which guys do I trust the most that I'm going to get the ball out of my hands immediately? It's probably going to be Robinson and Pitts. And Cousins, I think, really likes Pitts, too.
That's right. And Sills. Here's another Pitts angle. Let's check in with Kramer. Ryan Kramer with the first touchdown of the game place. Got 4 of them. We can grade him, too. All right. He's got Pitts.
What's the number on Pitts?
I'll look at here at Circa.
Okay.
Pitts is 12-1. That's not bad. Evans plus 850.
Oh, right out of the gates, huh? Here you go. Welcome back.
Pitts 12-1. Baker 30-1. Franks 100-1. I'm going to give that a B plus. That's pretty good.
He cashed on Monday night when he had Omari and Hampton as one of his guys too.
Yes, he did.
So the Buccaneers, by the way, again, they have a lot against tight ends on the year. They're middle of the pack, catches allowed and yards allowed, but they have given up 6 touchdowns to the position overall. That is a bunch of teams. Like the Bengals take the cake. They're historically bad. So they're number 1 in terms of, with a bullet, in terms of the worst numbers overall in the league. It's 15 touchdowns, I believe, to tight ends. Then there's like a team with 9, a couple teams with 8, 7. So there's a bunch of teams that have given up like 6. They're one of them, actually. So that's a big number overall. Mm-hmm. And, a guy like Pitts is turning into one of the best targets or one of Kirk Cousins' favorite targets overall. And I could see that for sure.
Do you get involved in these offers, like at Caesars and other spots, cash back if your guy scores second or third or second, third, and fourth?
I don't like the numbers.
Really? Okay.
So I don't. I did a couple of those. It was over at another book in town until they said, yeah, we're not taking any more bets. They had the second chance.
Right.
So you would get your money back if they scored the second touchdown of the game.
Yeah. Interesting.
But they also cut the numbers like way down for the first touchdown overall, as you would expect. They weren't even close to being like Circus numbers or FanDuel's numbers or anything. They were always way shorter than other books.
We got a playoff game next Friday, Bama and Oklahoma, and we have you covered to bet the postseason with confidence. Our college football betting guide is out. Full previews of every first-round game, insider breakdowns, best bets and brackets, and how we think it's going to play out. Makinen's power ratings, bowl picks across the network, playoff picks. Get the guide now for $14.99 or upgrade to VSiN Pro and get the guide included. Full access to every best bet, the betting splits, the AI-powered prop tools. Get your guide now, VSiN.com/CFP, VSiN.com/CFP.
Ira Kaufman next. He's covered the Buccaneers in Tampa for a long time. How banged up is Baker? What do we expect from Mike Evans? And would he bet on this team to make the playoffs?
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
And just like that, the Buccaneers back to a 5.5-point favorite here after dropping down to 4.5 against Atlanta tonight. Here at Circa, 5.5, pretty much the most common number across the board. And more on the game tonight as we head out to the Progressive guest line. Ira Kaufman joins the program, Pro Football Hall of Fame representative for the Buccaneers, NFL columnist for JoeBucksFan.com. Ira, thanks for the time today. We appreciate it as always. Mike Evans returns tonight. It's been a long time, almost 2 months since he played in a game here for the Bucs. What should we all expect from Evans, future Hall of Famer, in his first game back tonight?
I think he's going to be on a pitch count. I do, because I kind of liken this to Chris Godwin. Came back a couple of weeks ago, didn't play an inordinate amount of snaps the first game back. Didn't quite look like himself. Didn't look like he was football ready, football shape. But then he looked a lot better last week against New Orleans, Godwin did. I think the same thing's going to happen with Evans. If you're a fantasy owner, you might get a 3-yard touchdown on a fade pass. But, he's not going to play 45 snaps. But I think he's going to have a galvanizing effect on the rest of the team, especially at Buka, who is struggling with drops right now after a fantastic rookie start. There's a big difference between being the man, the number one receiver, and being a complimentary receiver So Bucca goes back to his natural spot tonight, and I think that's going to help. And look, this offense needs a jolt because, they're averaging 16 points in the last 3 weeks. Something's got to change.
Good point. Great word with galvanizing the team, because you wrote about Bruce Arians ripped the effort against the Saints.
I don't blame Arians. He watched the same game that I did from, I was in the press box watching this. The game starts with, a 60-yard kickoff return. So immediately, short field for the Saints, and that's been a problem for the Bucs, especially in the game at Buffalo. It was a disaster. You can't give Josh Allen short fields all night, all day long. I mean, you're asking for trouble. So they gave up 44 points that day. So the same thing happened. And I think the biggest point that Arians was trying to make, and I said it to some people in the press box with me last week, I said, the crowd's dead and the Bucs look dead. They were in the game, yeah, but they're playing the Saints for goodness sakes, no Kamara. And they're letting the Saints hang around, and there's no juice out there. There's no energy, especially on the defensive side. That's got to change. I think that led to the signing of Jason Pierre-Paul, who I think is on board not only to drop a few quarterbacks down, but also as a kickstarter, because he's got that edge to him as a defensive player, and the Bucs, they desperately need that edge on defense. They got nice guys, but they don't have, a nasty guy. So I think that's part of the reason they signed him.
Okay, so as you were sitting in the press box last Sunday watching the rain come down and the field was not in exactly great condition because of all of that precipitation in the area, now it's a quick turnaround, Ira. Are we going to expect the condition to be in the field to be in great condition for this spot tonight?
I think it will be. It's great football weather. It's going to be 60 and clear, no rain in sight. And I'll tell you a guy that's really on the spot tonight is Josh Grizzard. He is the offensive coordinator. Now, of course, the last two guys, Canales in Charlotte and Liam Cohn in Jacksonville, they're doing great jobs this year. And they only lasted 1 year as offensive coordinator, and somebody grabbed them. And of course, the irony is now the Bucs have, facing Canales twice in the last 4 games. And we'll see what happens. I'll tell you why tonight's game is critical, because somebody might say, well, the Bucs play the Panthers twice, and that's going to decide the division. What's likely is a split. I don't see the Bucs sweeping the Panthers the way Tampa Bay's playing right now. So if there's a split, all of a sudden, the next thing is conference is division record, and this is a division game for the Bucs. And I believe they're tied with Carolina at 2-1. Ironically, the Saints gave both teams their division loss. And, should there be a split, division record becomes paramount. And so here the Bucs are playing the Falcons. They can't be looking past Atlanta, towards next week's game in Carolina. That would be a disaster.
Okay, very good. What percentage, might be a difficult question, what percentage do you think Mayfield's playing at with the health?
With health, I think he's playing at about 60%. Something's wrong. Yeah, something's wrong. And it might be more than one thing wrong. We know about the left shoulder. There's an oblique he had a few weeks ago. That doesn't go away overnight. He doesn't look the same. Grizzard is not throwing the ball downfield at all. It's a dink and dunk offense, and I'm up there in the press box screaming, throw the ball 40 yards and try to get a pass interference penalty.
Yeah.
I've been saying it all year long, and everything is a little flare pass to Bucky Irving, 6 yards to Kate Otten. The ball does not travel very far down the field right now, and Mayfield's trying to play through it. You know him. If it's up to him, he's going to play. And let's be honest, with Teddy Bridgewater as the backup option, I think the Bucs are sticking with Mayfield as far as he can stand.
No. Would you bet on the Buccaneers right now to make the playoffs?
I would say yes, because I think they'll win tonight. They'll find a way, although Raheem Morris would like nothing better than to beat the franchise that fired him. But Atlanta's a sinking ship. You know, they are a sinking ship. Now, ironically, Kirk Cousins just ripped this team twice last year.
Yes.
I mean, big time.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's not the same. He can't throw the ball with any authority. Drake London's out. That hurts him. So I think the Bucs will win tonight, and then I think they're going to split with Carolina. And we'll see what happens with Miami. But, you know, Carolina's got to play Seattle. So, you know, and you know how well Seattle plays. So I think the Bucs are going to hang on with a split against Carolina.
Okay, so Evans on a pitch count. What do you expect out of McMillan back?
Very little. Very, very little. There's not a lot of room for McMillan tonight. There's not. Because Godwin's back, and he looked very good. One of the few guys that actually showed up against New Orleans. And then you got Egbuka, and he's not going away if he can catch the ball. And I don't think Mayfield's lost any faith in Egbuka. I don't think he has. And then, you know, you got Sterling Shepard standing around and Otten. McMillan's going to be a critical guy in 2026. Evans might not be back. He might retire. We'll see what happens. So I'm not looking for much from Jalen McMillan. That was a very severe injury. They're just happy to get him back on the field. Maybe in 2 or 3 weeks he can contribute. Don't look for much from McMillan tonight.
Totally fair. Ira, we have about 90 seconds left here. They got torched by Bijan Robinson in week 1 in the air, and they have not been great against opposing running backs in the passing game this season. Do you think that happens again tonight?
It's a big, big issue. I'm glad you mentioned that. You've been watching the Bucs closely, my man. I got to give you credit. I was in Atlanta week 1, and the game was 1 minute old. I believe it might have been the third snap of the game. And Penix dropped back, and Bijan Robinson floated into the right flat, and there was nobody around him. I mean, when you play the Falcons, he's the guy that you got to stop. There was nobody around him. First game of the year. He catches the ball in space. He goes 50 yards for a touchdown. Bucs trail, 1 minute into the game. It has been a constant problem this year. You are correct. They have a lot of problems covering the flats. Levante David's not the same player. He's not 28 years old anymore. He's good, but he's not elite. And Servassier Dennis has been up and down. It's been a big problem, and I think the Falcons are going to try to exploit that tonight. And, you know, Robinson's really good. He makes the first guy miss, and you got to swarm Robinson, and we'll see if the Bucs do it.
Yep. Great job, Ira. You can follow him on X. He's at ikaufman76 and is the Buccaneers and NFL columnist for JoeBucksFan.com. Can't thank you for enough here. 90 minutes before kickoff, Ira, for the time. Enjoy the game tonight.
My pleasure. Thanks, buddy.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Great spot with him as always.
Yes.
One of the go-to columnists that we have talking about Tampa Bay and the NFL teams throughout the season on this show. Very good perspective. Pitch count for Mike Evans. Don't get crazy with McMillan. And I'm glad he pointed that out about Egbuka because he's had several drops this year. Not great.
And a big effort after Arians blasted him. And Arians questioned the effort. I mean, that's a big one right there.
That was a weird game. I hated the play calling on the third and fourth and short, stuff like that. We'll recap last night's best bets and tell you what we have tonight in pocket here on Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right, no good last night with the over in the Blackhawks-Rangers game. There was 9 straight overs on TNT. That came to an end. Tonight, Thursday night, let's go to the pending first before we get to tonight. Roll Tide against Oklahoma in the playoff game next Friday. How great is that? What a way to start in the Miami A&M game.
Is that 8 o'clock Eastern?
Gates. Next Friday night, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Steelers, you heard Mitch earlier. Fade the Dolphins. Teams off the Jets game are 1-11 ATS. Steelers money line on Monday night. Army opened a 3-point dog. They're laying 6 now.
Well, hold on. They opened up a 3-point dog in the game.
Yes. They're laying 6 against UConn in the Fenway Bowl, Saturday, December 27th.
Well, explain what happened here.
Well, Mora took the Colorado State job, and guys have said that's it, forget it. And certainly I would expect Army to show up and bring it.
So, Pauly, you can still find 5.5, actually. Below a touchdown, would you actually lay? I know you're on the money line here at a good number, but would you lay the...
I'd be surprised if they impose their will and one team wants to be there, the other one doesn't.
I mean, some of these bowl games where the team, such as UConn, might have countless opt-outs with no head coach.
Yep.
Hello, Michigan. Like, are you going to be surprised if they get their doors blasted, like alt numbers come in? After what happened yesterday with Michigan?
Well, historically, the military schools are great with the bowls.
Sure they are.
It's another one.
But, like, for the Texas-Michigan game, Arch is coming back next year. He'll probably play in the game, quite a bit of it anyway. Who wants to play for Michigan after yesterday? Anybody? Are they even going to have enough players to field the team? Maybe they do. I'm sure they will. But Texas below 7 right now in that game. Anyway, I just wanted to bring it up.
Bears to miss the playoffs plus 160 to tonight. Maybe we get fireworks. Hopefully it's a good game like the last 3. It's been on a good run here with this prop. Both teams to make a field goal each quarter plus 450. Field goal every quarter plus 450. Robinson over receiving yards. Robinson 5 yards rushing each quarter, $1.20. And there was a good breakdown too on Evans with the pitch count. But if you still think Evans can do enough damage, 5 yards each quarter plus 750. 25 yards each half plus 375. Good luck.
All right, back at you, Paul. Last night, had some losers here. Took a shot with Aaron Wiggins, and one of them came in. It was over 1.5 made threes at plus 110, but 10-plus points did not. Over 2.5 threes did not get there. And I'll take my chances every single time when the player that I'm betting on is on the team that wins by 50 and they score 138 points. Weird game.
Yeah.
Weird game. Luka triple-double, no good. Mark Williams double-double, no good. Maybe if that was competitive, he would have gotten there. He had 9 and 5, but didn't play much because that was over with at halftime. As for tonight, while pending Seahawks minus 3.5 this week, that goes back to last week and the look-ahead number against the Colts. Thunder in pocket plus 225 to win the NBA Cup. I think they're around minus 190 now, minus $2. This is also the look-ahead to next week. Seahawks at home to the Rams. This is all over the map. FanDuel has Seahawks plus 1.5. Bet that minus 120. Bets that I have for tonight's action. The Avalanche on the puck line in the NHL. Bad spot for Florida. Back-to-back. Avalanche at home. Plus 114 here on the puck line. Bucky Irving over 11.5. Longest reception. Minus 112. We have talked about this several times throughout the show. But his longest reception since week 2, 22, 25, 72, 20, and 24. Again, he's only played in 6 games overall. Didn't go over 11.5 in week 1, but every game since. And like we just talked to Ira Kaufman, he put a 60% label on where Mayfield's at with the health.
That's strong.
And all of the downfield numbers would indicate that something's wrong. He's completing 35% of his passes, 10-plus air yards down the field. That is tied for Carson Wentz, 36 in the league. Last year, he was at 49%.
Say Bucky and White. Yards over.
Yep, little dump off, little how do you do. He skedaddles and takes off, picks up 15. Let's get it rocking and rolling. And I'm with you on Bijan tonight. I bet him last week against Seattle. Seattle can also be had by running backs in the air. Never happened. Game turned to a blowout after halftime, and they never even really threw him the ball that much. But I have to do it again because the Buccaneers are the worst team, or one of the worst teams against running backs in the passing attack. And so Robinson over 37.5. That's minus 112.
Make the holidays unforgettable with Omaha Steaks. Holiday roast, hand-selected gift packages. Omaha Steaks delivers top-quality meals and memorable gifts that bring everyone together. Every steak perfectly aged and hand-carved for exceptional flavor. And as a VSiN exclusive, you get 16 free smash burgers with any order of $129 or more, plus 50% off site-wide. omahasteaks.com/VSiN. omahasteaks.com/VSiN. Minimum purchase may apply. Remember when we were on this early in the year, Indianapolis, college hoops. They started off with a 118-102 loss and a 94-90 loss. And their games were moving in the betting markets with the numbers over and some incredible landing spots to start. You opposed them in the Air Force game because you said their power rating was out of whack.
Oh, they're a bad basketball team, yeah.
They gave up 98 points to Air Force. So since then, they had a 103-91, a 101-80. There was an 85-80 and a 92-78. Last time out at home against Youngstown, they got pounded, and they only scored 55 points, 78-55. They're playing right now against Green Bay. How about that line movement against the Fighting Gottliebs?
So IU Indy went to 4.5 at FanDuel before tip. What was Green Bay?
2.5.
Green Bay was a 2.5-point favorite, and it flipped all the way to 6.5 with Indy. And the total closed at 160, 165.5 at some books.
Yeah, 21-20, 10 minutes in.
They have the lead over Green Bay right now.
Indianapolis is 3-8 and 0-2 in the Horizon League.
I think if they get out to a decent lead here at halftime, or, we're going to be on the air with primetime coming up next as well. Green Bay's second half might be worth a play. We're hoping that Green Bay here, the Fighting Phoenix, they don't get a huge lead here before halftime. The Indy team's terrible. Also, Bill Barnwell wrote about the MVP today in the NFL at ESPN.com. He does a great job breaking it all down. Usually he sends out at the quarter pole, the halfway mark, and the three-quarter mark of the season. He'll send out all awards. Today was just the MVP. And it comes down to two players, and he actually said that Drake May is his MVP right now, not Matthew Stafford.
Yep. Well, check back Monday.
That's exactly right.
See if May can beat the Bills. And did you see what Vrabel said? Ben Volen, Boston Globe, asked him, hey, you're underdogs in Vegas. And they make you the underdogs. He goes, who's they? He goes, Vegas. He goes, well, they're not people. they're odds makers. They don't pay much attention.
They're not actual humans, huh?
You got that right. Right. We have Michigan Part 2. How about Iowa State laying 11 against Iowa? Iowa State beat Purdue on the road 81-58. They beat Syracuse by 30. They beat Creighton by 18. They did beat St. John's by 1. Every other game, Route City, blowout.
Let me see what some of the advanced, some of the sites say about the game tonight.
That's coming up at 5 o'clock Pacific. Iowa State, Iowa. And Iowa's, 8-1? And they're a double-digit
dog. Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah.
Bart Torvik makes it a 9-point game.
Okay, good.
77-68. It is it's tough for a team like that, or more specifically Michigan, to play at that level for an entire year. And in fact, I'll bring up the last time that we had an undefeated team in the tournament was that 2015 Kentucky team. They were odds on to win the tournament before it started. They were 34-0 going into the tournament. 34-0.
Oh, you're exactly right about the pressure gets to you.
Oh, and the
Patriot players talked about that too.
That's right.
Well,
that's
the
right.
toll it takes on you. You're asked about it all the time, and the pressure and to live up to it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you think you go out. I mean, you're probably at some point in the season, that's all you're thinking about. There's no doubt you're losing sleep at some point. I'm sure that even kids, it's been so long that these kids have no idea. I mean, Paul, it happened in 76? Indiana, the Hoosiers did it. They went undefeated.
Yeah, that's what Gonzaga did was so impressive.
Oh, absolutely.
Almost.
Yeah.
They got blasted by Baylor, but that Baylor team was excellent.
Yeah, and so you have to have that in the back of your head all the time.
Yeah, UNLV couldn't do it. It's one of the best teams I've ever seen. You had, 4 first-round picks on that team?
Yeah.
Larry Johnson was a man. They thumped Duke the year before by 30. Duke got a lot of calls, big surprise.
Right.
And Greg Anthony fouled out, but they couldn't pull it off.
You ever watch the replay of that game?
It's been a long time.
The Greg Anthony, you could go back and watch it tonight. You're going to break something at the Greg Anthony foul.
The foul out of the game?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Just, I mean,
they all went down
sure.
for Hill. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. That's it for Follow the Money. We're going to hang out for another half an hour tonight with VSiN Primetime, Tim Murray and Matt Youmans following. They're on the air for 4 hours tonight, by the way. We'll do a great job keeping you up to date with the live betting numbers on Thursday Night Football. Cashing out with Dustin's After. Wake up tomorrow morning early with Dave and Jensen, 7 a.m. Eastern, and good luck with the bets tonight.